Good day, perceptive reader. This is James with a Sunday thought for you. I'm going to make a statement and then give you two examples of what I'm saying, and you can even mull it over in your mind. Uh, whether the two examples are true, whether they're one is true, maybe both are true, or maybe it's just from storytelling or writing. Yet, before I tell you those examples, I'm going to at least state some facts. Okay. In the letter of Corinthians, it actually says that the evil one, Satan the devil, it even says his ministers, you see, will come to you as angels of light. But this is what I want to add additionally to this is that the devil will turn himself into an angel of light, but he doesn't always do that. Sometimes he actually will still hide behind an angel of light in human form. Okay? Now, another fact is this. Jesus was good at sifting through, intentions, was he not? Jesus also made sure he showed respect for God's word. He even showed respect to people that the so-called respectful ones didn't show respect to. Now, with that also being in mind, let me give you this one example. There was a movie with Mel Gibson in it called The Patriot, you see. Um, about it wasn't the Civil War, it was the first war, the colonial wars, with Great Britain, things of that nature, way back in the day, 1700s, I believe, roundabout in there. But anyway, what happened one time is that the character that Mel Gibson played uh, had already had, you see, experience, with the military and things of that nature. So he was one of the ones that the people really said, you know, we need to put him into some type of position that when they run into these different situations, we know he already dealt with it anyway. So, so that's what he was doing, to fight for freedom. But anyway, there was one time where some of his men was caught, and so he went to see the general, the commander of that base or that fort. And one of the statements that the general or the commander had made was he looked at it as like really uncivilized and barbaric, basically, that when the men were on the battlefield, the officers and everything, he was actually, allowing his men to shoot them or what have you at times. And then the see, that's just something that it was a honor, a thing about honor, code of honor. Anyway, it was like something that you just didn't do. That's the way the Great Britain, the royalty army looked at it as. But anyway, he had said something about Mel Gibson's his character, his uncivilized way of basically even fighting war with no honor. I guess these are my extra words, but the whole point is what Mel Gibson responded back to was in the form of, he would take that with pride of what the general said about him. So I encourage you to find that clip. I think you'll find it interesting because he said, he basically would take that with pride with what that commander was saying about him of the opposing side, the enemy that was saying about him because of the way that his officers were giving commands to their men to what? Kill women and children. Okay? Okay? Now, with that also being said, here's another example. I told you about how Jesus showed respect. He even showed respect to the ones that the so-called respectful people didn't even show respect to. Okay? Now, with that being said, Jesus exposed the hypocrisy of the Pharisees at times because he said that here it is, they mention things about God's word, about honoring mother and father, but the way that they were promoting greed, and they certainly made allowances for it, they dishonored these persons, the children, mothers and father, and was like encouraging them to be that way. See, I actually paraphrased what he was saying, but he did say it. He was saying their ways of doing things, they were dishonoring the mother and father. Now, here's another example. Imagine somebody, I'd like to say again, filled with deep pockets of greed, have caused somebody, maybe you, to have a child taken away from you, uh, through negligence, cause you to lose a child, uh, through negligence, you feel didn't give you what you needed when you were asking for care. You see, just a basic wage or what have you for a mother or father, and that mother or father pass away. You see, you will most likely still be a good person. But how would you feel if that person that did all that stuff to you then want to make it seem like you're not respecting their family, when the point is, you still, at least in your heart, you happy for their family. But can you still really not have some type of ill feeling or cut to or punch to the gut that you know what that person did to you with your family, and purposely so? So that's just a thought to think about. Have a very wonderful day, Perceptive Reader. This was a Sunday Thought.